Hello and welcome back to Factorio. And we are going to quickly, I'm going to need a bit more of the fast inserters. There you are. Thank you. Because we do need the fast inserters, or rather, not necessarily need, we want them. Whoops, that was not what I wanted. My hand was not doing what I wanted there. There we go. That should be fine. The reason why I want to have fast inserters really is because like the magazines are pretty fast in producing, and you need 4 iron plates to produce one, and the normal inserters are quite slow, so that's the reason why I want the fast inserters. So there's no like input restriction, like it's not restricted by how fast it's input into the machine, but rather how fast it can produce. And that's why I have 4 of them, and why everything is fed with fast inserters. Now, I'm going to bring this straight out like this. I'm going to cut down the trees. Later on, once I have cut the trees here, and what I'm going to do is just bring this belt out to the wall, and then I'm not going to do anything else for this belt. What I'm going to do is explore. As I said in the last episode, I'm going to go on a bit of an exploring spree here and find out what's out there a bit more than we already have, because we do need to find out where the resources are, what resources is out there, and how much of it. So we really do need to explore more than we already have, and while we do that, the science will continue. Let's look. Yeah, we should probably just do them in the order they are right now. Like, we do need all of this stuff. Solar panels at this point could be nice. Concrete as well. And then we are basically out of stuff. Let's go with this one, accumulators. This is basically the battery in the game, where you can store power, and you can get, like, we could have gotten solar energy way earlier than we are right now, but accumulators are quite late tech. Like, they are a lot harder to build. If we look at solar panels, they need copper, steel, and electronic circuits, and in total raw it's just iron and copper. It's nothing fancy at all. However, if we look at the accumulators, they need batteries, and batteries needs a lot of exotic stuff called oil, or more precisely sulfuric acid, which we can get from oil, and a bit of water, and a tinsy bit of iron and copper. But we are going to put that up for research yeah, and here we have the cliff explosives. Right, we do need it does need a grenade. It does need explosives and empty barrel. Yeah, and this is what you use to destroy cliffs. I'm not going to do this because I like building around the cliffs. It makes the spaghetti even more glorious than it would have been otherwise. And then we can put up the research for next kind of research, which is chemical science pack, or blue science as I call them. We are going to do that one, and it's going to keep on going until we want more of it. Now, let's see, how is this going to work? We probably should do this and this and kind of like this, and the loop will... Oh, it can't be done. No, it can be done. There we go. See, every problem can be solved if you want to solve it. Anyway, what we are going to do is an output priority of right. We're going to pick that up. No. We are going to do an output priority on the left, and we are going to use a filter. And here's the interesting thing about the filters. If you set, like we have firearms here, if we set something like a destruction planner, and then by pressing F you can pick up stuff from a belt or the ground. For example, if I stand here and press F, we pick up a bunch of stuff. If there happens to be laying things like things on the ground was laying around, I'm going to showcase this by putting it on the ground by pressing Z, like this. Like, say for some reason there was a bunch of ammunition like splayed on the ground like this. We can't pick it up. We could mine it, like by doing a mouse over and pressing right click. We can pick it up, but we could just do the easier, more efficient way of doing it and pressing F by being over it, and just hold F and run around and you pick up stuff. Now, this way, with this filter, we say that, okay, we only want deconstructor planners to go up this belt, which I just laid out. But however, there are no deconstruction planners. It's not even an item which you can build and put on the belts, basically. But this is a neat way of like saying nothing is going to get put on the left, everything is going to be put on the right. And there we go. And this way you can merge two belts into one. It's a very neat way of doing that. But we have taken a third of the episode, which wasn't the plan. We are going to quickly run off and find our car, which is over here, it looks like. Yes, there it is. The science is going equally bad, so it's fine. Boom. You can drive over belts and splitters, and underground belts, but not factories and few other stuff. Now, assume you can't drive over it. That's probably the safest thing, to assume that you can't drive over it and be happily surprised if you can. As you can see here, I did something. I took gates and put them down. And if you get close enough with either a car or your character or a vehicle of some kind, it will open up. If you get far away enough, it will close. This way it will never be completely open, so biters can't run through, and your base is... You have easy access to your base, but biters don't, which is what we want. Now, I am going to see if I can take care of this nasty base up here, which is a bit too close to comfort. And there we go, that was one of those gone. I probably should fix the car at this point, but if we do this, we can actually shoot, and there we go. Those worms right now, they are basically useless because they have nothing to protect. You can, if you want, just ignore them. However, I will repair my car and kill them because I don't want them to be there. So we are going to quickly destroy them. Now, he did get a last shot in. So, we repair, we continue on. And now that base is no longer there, so it can't send anything against us. Now, why there are 3 worms around here, I have no idea. But there were, but no longer are. Yeah. Which way to go? Now, we have to drive a bit carefully so we don't run into a base or a forest or a stone or anything really. Another worm alone. Like, what? Why? This can happen sometimes, where there is a worm in the middle of nowhere and no base and no nothing for it to protect. Not sure why, but sometimes there is. And when it comes to exploring, make sure you always keep looking on your screen and your minimap, because sometimes you can see bases before they appear on the minimap, and sometimes you can see them on the minimap before they appear on the map. As you can see down here in the left corner, we can see a base. But if we look at the minimap, they are nowhere to be seen because it happens to be outside of the exploration box. If we, however, go a bit closer, there we go, they popped up. And we can see the whole base, but we can't in this. Now, we have a bunch of oil up here, but we already have oil. Though it's like 2.5 times the oil I have close to my base. And the further away from the starting area we get, the more like the larger and the richer the ore patches will be. Now I'm not sure how far we want to go. We haven't found anything amazing, like a bit of oil, but we already have it. And we don't need that much oil to get started with oil, at least not at first. We will need a lot of it later on, but not to begin with. Probably should start going back a bit. See if we can explore the chunk over here. There we go. And let's back up and go over to the left. This is a tight squeeze. There we go. This looks to be sort of a dead end. No, there's a passage, but not a lot of room. Let's shoot these trees. Mostly because I'm too lazy to go out and cut them down. There we go. And if you don't know how to how I did that or how to shoot a biter, like a normal, like an enemy of some kind, you just mouse over and press space. Something like a neutral or friendly, you have to mouse over but press C instead. Let's take a look at the map where we are, and okay, we are over here. We probably should try to cross straight, like in a line, sort of down to the left. It probably should be, hopefully we find some good resources. There we go, we updated that. Okay, we have a bunch of copper up here, I can see. Let's take a look at how big it is. It's 11 million. Okay. That might be a good source for copper. We have a quite large base up here. 2 bases. 3 bases. More or less on top each other. This is quite common where they are very close to each other. Which might make the clearing of them difficult, and the longer you let them be and expand, the more they will grow into one big massive hive, which might be difficult to handle. Let's remove you because you're in the way. And this looks like a settler group who have been settling quite recently, or it's very split up. And why are why are the worms, every single worm is down here? Either that was a really bad settler group or it was a really bad spawn. Not sure which is true at the moment. I do want to remove these worms because no, please. Now Are there any mediums here? Doesn't look like it. Looks like there's a bunch of small ones. We have 10 minutes left. Let's see how much we can explore beyond this. Oh, a bit of water being in the way. Oop, oop, oop. We need to repair. And it's flashing because the car is getting damaged. I know it is, so it's fine. And yes, I'm driving by and holding space while mousing over. And 2 more is dead. There we go. That should be every single worm down there. Yes, it is. So let's do some repairs. There we go. And off we go. Now I'm not going to fight that one because that seems to be a pretty big one. At least for the amount of firepower we can amount to right now. Though it is really close to this one, which we do want to take control over, but we might have to do that later. We should probably go over to the right of the base and do a bit of exploring, just to see what's there. In case there's a bunch of biters or resources or water or whatever might be there. Probably should find out. It's better to know what's there than to not know and then wondering why you're getting attacked. Let's see here if we can find anything. Okay, we have a bunch of water here, which does block a lot of okay. Interesting. Now, the world is perceivably generated. There's like no map is exactly the same. It's always different. Which means where the resources are different. So you, unless you have the seed, it is going to be different every single time. Now, as I said, if you have a seed, you can use that seed to generate a world, because every single seed will be the same if you put in the same seed. It is different because it's a different seed that's being used. So if you have a seed which you know is very fun, or it's very difficult, or it is a very like builder friendly world, or it's a very rail like train friendly world where you have to build a lot of trains to get resources. If you have like a seed which you know works for you, or you find one which seems to be like interesting, then you can use the seed to play that map. Now, I really enjoy not having like the cliffs aren't the same, the waters isn't in the same place, the ore patches aren't in the same areas, and there's not the same amount, and so on and so forth. And I find that fun. So that's why I'm usually never ever going with the same seed or looking up a seed beforehand. I usually go with a random seed, so I can get a new experience every time I play a new map. Now we should probably build some of these so we can go through. There we go. And you don't really you don't lose the walls, you just exchange them. So the walls that is here is being placed in your inventory. You don't lose any resources by building over with something else. Now let's see. I probably should take care of this one as well. It's getting a bit too close. Up. We have another research. I should probably try to focus these biter nests, because the nests do regenerate their health quite quickly. So try to focus them down. The more spawners you can get rid of, the quicker you will actually win against the bases. We have killed a lot of spawners and biters. So we should be a bit careful, because there is a thing called evolution. The biters and the spitters will get harder every time you kill them and destroy their bases, as well as an overtime factor. So even if you don't do anything, they will get more powerful over time. And if you feed them a bunch of pollution, they will get a lot stronger a lot quicker as well. So making sure to handle your pollution and clearing bases and not allowing the spitters and biters to suck up a bunch of pollution is going to be very, very necessary, so you don't get overwhelmed when the bigger and nastier version of them appear. Now I think I have driving into a bit of a pinch here, like I'm locked in. There we go. I think I'm out of it now, or yeah, should be at least. No, I'm not going to fight that. And no, whoa, that's a lot of worms, so no thank you. And for some reason the biters have an interest in settling on the resources. So don't be surprised if you find a big like ore patch or an oil patch or something which have a crap ton of enemies on them, because for some reason they do like settling on the resources. But I do think that I'm perfect on time, because I feel I'm, for now at the very least, I've probably done as much exploring as I can manage. I could probably go out to the left more, but I think we are going to have to tech up and level up when it comes to our military power a bit, and make sure our base is defended so we can go out for a longer period of time, and actually have a base left over when we come back. But we are going to have to continue in the next episode, because this is long enough by this point. We are going to finish the... gonna have to make sure to feed all the ammunition around the base to every single turret that's around the walls. But that is going to have to wait until the next episodes. So, thanks for watching, goodbye, and I hope I'll see you in the next one.